What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. The gameplay loop that's present here in Black Ops 6 can be best described as complete and utter brain rot, downright deceptive, predatory, and manipulative. The more I played of the Black Ops 6 beta, the more I came to realize that Treyarch wasn't trying to create a game that was the new standard in the FPS genre. They weren't trying to create a game that was going to be extremely innovative or become the epitome of game design. No. They were trying to implement as many tactics that popular social media apps have to keep you playing longer. Because they don't care about great game design. They don't care about innovation. They care about your time. Because what they've learned is the number one metric that Call of Duty cares about above all else is player retention. And if they can trick you into retaining your time, they're going to do it. They don't care what kind of tactics they have to use. They are going to trick you into playing the game for as long as possible. They started these manipulative tactics with skill-based matchmaking, and now it's moved into the gameplay loop, where the gameplay loop that is present here in Black Ops 6 is completely designed to just trick your brain into wanting to play more by feeding into dopamine constantly. The same way that social media apps constantly feed into dopamine to keep you scrolling for longer, because that's what they care about. Long gone are the days of actually trying to create an intricate gameplay experience, an innovative gameplay experience, a gameplay experience that's going to stand the test of time. That's not what Black Ops 6 is. Black Ops 6 is the epitome of brain rot transformed into a Call of Duty game. It's so present here, it's not even funny. Let's first look at the big new innovation for Black Ops 6, Omni Movement. What is Omni Movement? It just allows you to slide and dolphin dive and sprint in any direction. But what's its number one purpose? Keep allowing the players to do something. Because heaven forbid they just hold the sprint button and move in a direction trying to find an enemy. Or sprint with a purpose, trying to flank somebody or gain a power position. No. Omni Movement is there solely to give the players something to do, because heaven forbid their brain might actually think for a second, because the game wants to think for you. They want to put you in an engagement as soon as possible, because they don't want you to think, oh no, this is boring. So Omni Movement is present just to get you into a gunfight as soon as possible. Look at one of the biggest complaints that Black Ops Cold War has. It's that it's too slow. Because that game didn't have tac sprint. All it had was slide and the regular sprint that we've had in Call of Duty forever. But for people, it was too slow. It was too boring. And it's because the game was actually designed to be a classic Call of Duty game and did a pretty good job of it. It focused on gunfights instead of movement. It focused on good map design instead of this brain rot map design that we have here in Black Ops 6. There's a reason why they moved off of it. They realized it's not popular with the community. Look at what was popular with Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. The teeny tiny small maps. What did everybody want to play in MW2 and MW3? The small map mosh pit, the shipments, the rusts, the stash houses, the meets. That's what people wanted to play. Because it feeds into that constant brain rot gameplay loop of spawn, shoot your gun a couple times, die, respawn. And the loop continues. That's all they care about. Because it feeds you dopamine every 10 to 15 seconds. Because that's how often you get into a gunfight, you spawn, and you get into a new gunfight. There's a reason why these maps are so popular. It's because they trick us psychologically into wanting to play the game more because it feeds us dopamine consistently. And I know that I sound crazy, that I'm using big words, but it's the truth. They have found ways to manipulate you psychologically into believing that you're actually enjoying the game, when in reality, it's just your brain being tricked into enjoying the experience. Look at Babylon. It's another map designed solely to feed you dopamine every 10 to 15 seconds. That's all it's there for. And some of you might argue, well, that's what Call of Duty's always been, trying to feed you kills every 10 to 15 seconds. But that's not what it used to be. You used to be able to go on flank routes. You used to be able to fight for power positions. You used to be able to leverage your map knowledge to gain that advantage over the enemy team, which then fed you with dopamine. And the ultimate dopamine reward was when you were able to call in massive kill streaks. Well, I don't know if you've noticed this with Black Ops 6, but the kill streaks cost more than they ever have before. And it's because they don't want the dopamine to come from the kill streaks anymore. They want the dopamine to come from their manipulative and deceptive gameplay loop. Look at Face Off, for instance. A game mode that used to be 3v3, that 100% had this repetitive gameplay loop. But it's gone even more toxic and even more brain rotty by it becoming 6v6. The maps are painfully small, and the gameplay itself is bland, boring, and repetitive. Nothing about it keeps me wanting to play. So some of you might wonder, why is it that I'm not falling for it? If it's designed to keep me playing, it's because I see it for what it is, a deceptive practice that is solely designed to keep me playing. And it's funny because I fall for other deceptive practices on social media apps, like Reddit, like Instagram, where I'm constantly scrolling. But for whatever reason, with Call of Duty, it has created a boring and bland experience for me. Maybe it's because I expect a little bit more sophistication from my video games. Maybe because my attention span is a little bit longer than what Call of Duty wants to give me credit for. Because it's very clear that they don't respect my attention span, judging by the maps and the spawns that they've put into Black Ops 6. But the problem is, this is what the data has told them. Modern Warfare 3's most played game mode was the small map mosh pit. So they're going to continue to create small maps that have no flow, that are chaotic, and have no consistency to them whatsoever. That's why the beta feels so bad, is because if you don't like the small map mosh pit in MW2 and MW3, you're not going to like Black Ops 6. Because that's what it is. It's a small map mosh pit. Nothing about it showcases some of the intricacies of the game. There's a reason why people didn't like Scud, including myself. It's because it caused us to exit that gameplay loop that was trying to addict us. And Scud might be one of the better design maps in the game. I can't believe I'm saying that. But when you pull yourself out of the repetitive and awful gameplay loop, and you think about Scud a little bit more objectively, it does a lot of the things that the other maps don't do. The spawns are a little bit more predictable. The map flows a little bit more predictable. You know where enemies are going to come from. There's a power position on the map. Now, none of this is well designed, mind you. A lot of it is very poorly put together. But at least you can see some of the classic design elements of an old, good Call of Duty map. It's still far too small, and it has so many bad angles, it's unbelievable. It's still a bad map. But compared to something like Babylon, or compared to Derelict, or Rewind, it does a lot of things better than those maps do when we think about it in a classic sense. But overall, Black Ops 6 is just a repetitive, boring, and bland gameplay loop that is designed to manipulate you. There's nothing more than that. Those that are having fun with this game, I once said I was jealous of you. I'm not jealous of you. I'm disappointed that you've fallen for the very clear deceptive practices that Black Ops 6 has on full display. This isn't a good video game. It's a great social media app to maintain your attention. That's what they care about. That's what they want. But that's all I really have to say on this topic. I really hope that you guys see my point and at least challenge your own viewpoint. I'd love to hear your thoughts, though, down below in that comment section. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.